I'm trying so hard to look away and forgive myself. In thinking the world will be different this time, that time will use its hands to reach for the ticking voice that speaks to the rain, telling it, convincing the rain to strike a pose, freeze mid-air, before droplets become suicide comments to the ground. As I tried to figure how sand was able to calculate time and escape the duties of discounting your beauty, what is left of it, what was able to trick my eyes in losing vision, in squeezing the heartbeat in my steps, how my stomach grew a garden and had butterflies that flapped wings, causing my intestines to be paralyzed, failing to understand how to digest, how to massage the adoration of you, of my trembling hands. I still ask myself, would my fingers keep steady to write how you became my star? How betrayal played with time and kissed my neck as your loathful self fell for the clouds. How Cupid went to war with crooked arrows, aimed for a heartless soul that judged me for everything that I don't have. A soul compatible to not giving for humans who dream, who plant seeds on rocks and in dark holes of wishing wells. I'll just give it to time. Maybe time has the ability to forgive. Maybe time is the main ingredient to going rogue. I've seen what happens when you teach your lungs to gas for air for 5 years in building a pyramid of persistence and get rotated 7 times to fall to the ground, to fall to no reasoning. I'm tired. I'm tired of adding you in my poems. I'm tired of trying to reach for the green light. I'm tired of trying to get you to have some tea with the innocence of an aching heart and be nervous about it.
Keeps off her hair. It looks like bravery bracing itself to take over the world. It looks like a novel beginning, pages turning and chapters closing, a renewed slate and the scent of ink on paper in the morning. It looks like shedding autumn and dead things, the blooming of spring and the smiling sun. The smell of the hibiscus flower and old as she is. To let go and to catch a wave of change. But what no one ever tells us is this. With every hair strand that is caught by the floor, the ache never departs with it. It clutches to every root follicle and sprouts back. Unless you do the inner work of defeating horrid cyclones and burning some Palo Santo to cast out scarred demons. So before you shave off your hair to shed the ache, ensure that the healing always starts within.
Legacy. Will we leave a solid seed for a legacy? Spills of diluted truths over spirits contain us in a box of misery. Whose seed am I and why is everything sworn to secrecy? Mothers tell the truth and fathers show your faces. I may be a result of temporary passion between two trusting lovers, but perhaps we should have left it at first base. Now we chase our foot trails on television shows. These are the extreme measures you've expressed us to in pursuit of fame. Dada kinyanyan, vulanyanam dimlo. The countenances of these men are hidden in wallets and not crucified to the dining room wall. How we wish they expressed the same type of energy when we were young before we could talk or crawl. Now they return home sick, dying, with crippled wallets and legs that are now lame. In our attempts to hide their youthful shame, we are passed around as pivoting parcels between paternal relatives. We are birthed by angels fallen from grace. Year on year we yearn for their love and compassion, but to no resolve. Women, passed around as buds in their youth to give off pleasure. But as soon as the fire starts burning out, they are crushed to the ground. Now, what use is a woman who cannot give nor accept love? This is the youth, they're angry. The youth, they're entitled. They want land, they want education, but they also want money and sex. What are we passing on to them besides our surnames and forced culture? Will we leave them a solid seed of legacy and not devour them as would a passing culture?
Somandla sicela usifumbathise elinye ikhono lokudlulisa umyalezo ngoba uma sasebenzisa izinkondlo ukudlulisa umyalezo abafuni ukusilalela kwasisithula imbongi ingazangibike nakukhwehlela izolo waxilonga wancama udokotela zama ukuthola imbangela ehluleka wabuza umuntu omdala ndodana batatazela kangaka abantu emhlabeni kawubatshelanga ngokugula kwakho ngathi umuntu omdala ngizamile ukubabhalela ngifuna ukubabikela kodwa bangangilalela baphike nobumnandi benkondlo bakhohlwa umyalezo engizama ukudlulisa ngibatshelile ukuthi ilanga selangishonela beze bezongikhulekela kepha bona bakhethe ukungishayela izandla nokungibeka izandla ngoba abafuni ukusilalela sibayala mihla namalanga kodwa amaphutha bawenza mihla namalanga kukhulu ukubonwa ubumnyama yazi ilanga uma lingaphaphama phakathi kwamabili likhanyisa umhlaba lingawabona amanyala ilanga nenyanga uma zingahlangana kunethemba zingaxoxelana
noma kunzima ningayeki ukuloba zimbongi kwazibani mhlambe lembhalo yenu yiyo yoba iBhayibheli esizukulwane esilandelayo okubhlungu isizwe sonke asibazi ubukhulu benu okwenza bafuna unikhokhela ngodumo uma senibalaphile emphefumulweni benze ungazi ukuthi nina ningabathila abafumbathise ikhambi lokulapha abagulayo emoyeni nikwazi ukubhala izinto nisusele sibonakalisweni uma kuhlwa nokuphila neziganyezi esibhakabhakeni zimbongi imvelo yonke yanithobela kusuke ezantsi emfuleni kuze kuyophuma phezulu lesitabeni okubhlungu nje nami ngangomunye wenu kodwa umjalo bempilo bangikhiphe epenini bangikhombeza imayini okwakubani ukuhlezi ushayela ihlombe kepha ungenakudla etafuleni kanti nabanyoza ukuthi baliqeda kuthina uthando lokhaya mhlawumbe bephendula izikondlo zabo noxhaka okucupha inhliziyo zodadewethu kanjani ngoba kuthina eziko lamagama izinkondlo zingumkhuleko ufakazi usabangona ethuneni bonke abathi izinkondlo zingesidala bavulena amehlo inkungu isesukeni lana-ke bafethu ngithunyiwe ukuzonazisa nonke ukuthi lezi zinkondlo eningazithandi kangaka zizoba imvela kancane esikhathini esizayo yebo boba khona odokotela bonijova banilapha enyameni kepha niyozidinga imbongo ukukhululeka emphefumuleli leli iqiniso elifakazelwe umfowethu besehlala iminyaka ejele utheni ukuba inkondlo zazikhona ngesikhathi sakhe ngaba kekho kule ndawo uyafunga uyagomela uthi zazomguqula umqondo ngaphambi kokubulala umakhelwane wakhe kanti akaligwinyanga kwabe sengena nodadewethu besehlala iminyaka esibhedlela utheni ubengagula enyameni bedinga ukulashwa emphefumuleni ubonga le nkondlo ayizidlala emsakazweni ngizibuza uma kanti sikwazi ukulapha nabakude kungani singanikezwe ithuba ezweni ngikhumbule ingoba sinokubhala sikhulume nangamaqiniso ahlula abafundisi emabandleni niphiwe zimbongi nina nikwazi ukubona ubuhle nalapho bungekho khona ninokuzifaka esicatshini
Ngimuhle cha ngangimuhle nginguphumalanga sikothe wentombi usuka sambe amakhwela ayebuzwa kumina ukushiyalwa kokuyingoma eyayingabe isafuna ukuthola ezindlebeni zami ngaphambi kokuba uthathe igugu lami wathatha igugu lami ubuntombi bami ngaphandle kwemvumo yami izinyembezi zami ziwa zicathaka zimathonsana wawungenazwela inyangeni ezintathu nje kuphela ngathola ukuthi ngikhulelwe kodwa azange wanginaka okubhlungu ukuthi awugcinanga ngokungala kepha wale nengane engenacala endaweni yonke wangenza inhlekisa kontanga bami wangenza isibonelo esibi endaweni yonke batshele ngobuze bami ngiyazibuza ngenzani awugcinanga ngokungala isithunzi sami nokuhlonipheka kwami ukudicile phansi ungophulile ngikwethemba.
Where do I begin to describe Alexandra? A place where lots of things happen. A place where there is struggle from day to day. A place where our brothers and sisters are killed brutally from day to day. A place where the line "get home safely" is no longer romantic, but it's actually a serious line. A place where rape has become fashion trend to our brothers who spend their days killing themselves with dagga and all sorts of drugs, of which they buy with blood money from their victims. A place where carrying a gun has become a new trend to all, so they can make anyone disappear if they stand on their way. And yes, they do disappear in the river called Juske, a river that does not feed the humankind but feeds on the humankind. I walk through the streets of Alexandra in fear each and every day because I don't know whose bullet is going to reach out to me. I don't know whose pens are going to fall for me. Alexandra is a place where you don't need to take care of yourself and be careful to survive, but it's a place where you need God's grace to survive. Anyways, welcome to Alexandra, a place where the beauty of a girl is defined by her curves and light skin, a place where young ladies drink like their fathers and smoke like their brothers. Abalazi board. A place where teenage pregnancy is a competition and yet fathers never take responsibility. A place where being beaten by your boyfriend is not a criminal offense but it's a sign of true love. Uzebeti, Chomi, Taroa Traba with a smile on their faces, and in the back of my mind I'm asking myself, are you Tabo's punching bag? Alexandra is a place where lots of things happen. Benza izinto zenzeke. Welcome to Alexandra.
Kama otoki emi, ifela pelu yaka irapalleji. Uralukile ka pelu yaka ke atshepa ugotsofetše. Ke kwele bare kgarebe ntsuku o robala o futhumetše. Empa go nna o timme mollo wa lerato la go tuka malakabe hubedu. Ka šala ke tonyetša ke phefo selemo. Bampoditše ba re o mofiti ka gana nna seya le maratwana. Leratonyana la gago le boruthwana e le sekhurumelo tsebeng tšaka. Ka nnete bohloko bjo ke itatetše. Mohlomongwe letšwana la gage le bolediana go feta laka. Mohlomongwe diatla tša gage di borutho go feta tšaka. Nka se botše baditšhaba gore o nkamogile rato laka le thabo laka. Gobane nnete ya go phološa mohu ke gore o mofiti ka tsela. O le kgema senopa le thabo basading. O le hodu si utswa lesego wa šala setu. Ke podilane ke nkga botlaela. Gobane ke dumetše go ralokwa ke setlaela.
Ngiyisidakamizwa abangaziyo bangibiza ngewunga. Sekuvamisileke ukuthi abantu bangibhece ngobende inyama ngingazange ngayinuka nangephunga. Angiphiki umqondo womuntu ngiyawudunga kodwa kukho engimnika kona ngaphandle kwalokhu nabe kade kufuna. Baningi-ke abathi bayangizonda mengibuqamama kodwa kasondela bangithanda ukufa. Impilo yami ayihlukile nentombazane izumba ngisho nesibotho sikakutshela. Baningi abathi abangifuni kodwa make ngasondela bayangisebenzisa mabethola ithuba basuke beyitshela ukuthi bayangiyuza kanti ababoni noma sebembela ithuna. Sengize ngayijwayela-ke nenhlamba ngoba mihla namalanga ngiyathukwa, ngixekwa ngezenzo zabantu okubuhlungu konke lokhu abakwenza-ke khona oyedwa seke ngamthuma. Ngadalwa nami ngidalwa umuntu ngesizathu engingasazi. Engikwazi lokho engiyikona lukhu ulwazi olungaphezulu nolungaphansi. Angazi inyanga, ngazi inyaka, ngazi ngisho usuku. Angazi kwasikhathi kodwa ngizima-ke bese ngiyisitha somphakathi. Engikwazi ukuthi ngiyiphilise elihlukile engaphuzwana namanzi, ingakho-ke neningi mase lingisebenzisile elihluleka nanokusebenzisa amanzi. Angitholakali la kutholakala khona abanye ozakwethu, ingakho-ke mina ngithe xaxana ngeprice. Nakho-ke ukuthi mina ngisetshenziswa ilegenge egulayo kodwa ngisetshenziswa ilegenge esigulisayo. Ngiyiphilisile obumnandi, ingakho kulezi insuku ngikidimandi. Mungakaza uyazi into emnandi bakhohlisana kanjalo-ke mase besendaweni zobumnandi.
I am a drop from drilling drunken drones that make up the waters of the deep ocean. Dried soil and Saharan slime, soaking in the sadness, drowning sorrow slowly, crawling, dragging step by step from Jezebel hands, my scented jasmine juxtaposed sensation with his joyous juices glistening from the four corners of my spine. You find raw with floor buried in an unmarked grave, swallowed, left behind the door, trapped inside the floorboard of a pyramid. I choke as I exhale the words locked behind the bars of this poem. Thrown against the walls of my own home, a cigarette-stenched smell covers my mouth as another tears me open. I struggle on memory-full bed sheets as I realize that the air that comes from the window isn't always fresh. He watched me. Watch him replace all that was mine with the salt of his sweat, turning all I had built into ruins. leaving only the death notice of a once radiant smile that now only resides in the photograph my mother keeps in the forgotten archives of her kissed. I am witness to a piece of shit. A broken salient sapient flirting with the pen that doesn't even like me. And Lucifer, he was cheering on from the sidelines the whole time. I still feel the power of your grip from time to time, but it has no power over me. My hands no longer shake when the smell of you interrupts my thoughts, but it has left me more fragile than before.
I'm a male. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a harasser. I don't make female friends for sex, but I am a male. I'm a feminist. No, I'm not gay. I'm not unique either. I'm part of a group that hasn't yet been created, but we are out there. We believe in right and wrong, and rape ain't even a consideration when I haven't read my penis in a while. Just because we're feminists doesn't mean we're gay. We understand actions, and we have sisters and mothers, and if not now, soon daughters. So we do unto others what we hope to be done on us. Thank you.
At the edge. As I fall on my knees to pray, the silence of the ground is haunting, so quiet the walls are the only thing laughing. The voices in my head echo towards silence. This old wound bleeds traces of the past. I'm lost in the crowd, I'm lonely inside, they'll never know what lies inside is a mess. My breath races towards the last one. Old scars no longer serve as souvenirs, they reflect the map of the dying angel inside. Father, these demons have found refuge at the heart of my ear. I can no longer hear you. The voices tell me the world is better off. You tell me I'm yours in your mind till death brings us closer. Faith, small enough to fit in the cracks of my skin. I'm at constant rest, but I'm not settled. This thirst vandalizes my soul. This sin call me by name. This ethanol reflects the cure. When I fall asleep at night, I reach out to the bumps of my spine, hoping that they'll remind me of my roots. This flower is growing weak. I tried giving more than I could get, but still it went in vain. I tried loving them, but we both know that a broken hammer could never fix a broken door. I tried putting myself out there, but what was missing was in here. Got me thinking that my soul needs surgery. How can so much reflect nothing? I have a past that has grown rooted to my skin. It refuses to grant me freedom.
Bayakhala nezulu likhala kanye nabo. Izinyembezi zalo ziwela phezu kwabo. Umhlaba uhlangana nepiki uqhuma njengezinhliziyo zabo. Izihlahla ziyabashwelezela kophezulu. Sebesele bodwa bayizintindili bayakhala bazikhotha amanxeba ngolushwabene. Begeza ngezinyembezi inkamba beyibuza bayigqinywe yindlala yomhlabathi. Babukana ngamehla acweba izinyembezi. Bayamaya inkemane bayehlisa ngosizi. Phezu kwale mzizima imiyoci nemiga kungekho nasifuba bangazilahla kuso. Qhwasha khemilili emnyango yeka leyo nhlansi yethemba kubona ithemba lemvula ngemva kwesomiso. Bambheka wababheka kwabhekwana amehla akhantantatheka nendli yonke ubulephulephu. Izinkanyezi zibona eziko kukayeka isicapha kuphula ukutshuma ngobe. Nezindonga nazo zizimele ngensika yomoya. Abamkelise isethembiso basifumbathe. Akukhipha akukhaxaze kuphayiza kubuyisela usentathele waqeda. Asukuma bafulathele. aphuma hamba bashiye nomthamundo vo. Zeqa zilamana bezibala besasifumbethe yeke ukwethemba kwabo eqinisweni lamanga bekholwe yizimu ligwinye itshe labakhohlisa phinde nakanye bona zibuye intatheli.
Here's to the black man who taught himself that it's better to cry than to bottle his emotions up and prefer to lie. Here's to the black man who accepted his vulnerability into this world and still went on with his humility and still went on, keeping his head up high. The black man who never sees his bed at night, constantly hustling just so he can put food on the table. I mean, somebody has to keep his family stable, right? Somebody has to wake up each and every day to follow the system that actually leads him out of his right to success. I genuinely am impressed. Impressed by the fact that even when you're oppressed by the society that gets nervous when they see a black man walking past their gates and they tremble in fear, you still keep your head up high. You're still the black man who never sees his bed at night. You're not worried about negative energy because you were born ready to fight. Whatever you did wrong today, you get up the next day and you do it right. It's heartbreaking seeing them spit on your back to the point where they cough out their phlegm, right? You forgot that they want to see you do good, but never better than them, right? Is that why they paint the image of a Negro as a thief who has to murder and steal to get by? Oh my. Snap your fingers for a Negro. Snap your fingers for a Negro's Negro hero. Here's to a good Negro. Keep it up.
Nzeni na siphume emzini yobaba eyibayenza amadoda siyofuna amatoho ukuze sixoshe leli kate leleziko lapho lingesalele selakhile ma Africa amahle sizwe sikaphunga noma geba ezweni ngiyashweleza esizweni ngiyacela ngiyanxusa yekelani ukuhlukumeza abantu besifazane nzeni na efakazo wesifazane thizeni ethi umyeni wami ungiphethe ngesandla sensimbi mangithi ngiyababikela bomndeni bathi kangithu lumphakathi uzothini wemadoda uba notheni maqha uma nibulala abantu besifazane uma nibulala imbokodo nithilelizwe lokuqhakaziswa wobani uma nibulala abaholi bakusasa nithilelizwe lobuswa yilwane kanti isiqewu yini life likamthani yasibuka mvela inqangi ngedolo ngiquqile ngiyathandaza baba kusenhle kulomhlaba ingane zakho iphenduka ilwane ibulalana zodwa abesifazane bahlukunyezwa ngaphansi kwegama lothando mvela inqangi inqanda nobugebengu buyivezile ukuthi bude kunongalo yomthetho Isimakade ngokuba lo mbuso namandla ngenkazimulo ngokwakho kanti nzeni na
Lenkondlo ngihlanganise nomkhuleko ngoba vele sesifaswe ngamakhetha ngokufa Lenkondlo ngihlanganise nomkhuleko ngoba vele sesifaswe ngamakhetha ngokufa Ngikhuluma nalabo nembeza abaqhunga isibini ubasiwele esikoleni imfundo izosinqoba yini sifo sesesaba ngoba lomhlaba usugqoqwa ngabantu abasha sayiswe ezikolweni kwasendiwana amathuna akufundeki neze sifaka amask emlonyeni siyadinga ukuphefumula wona noma osibulalayo mazulu ahlanganisa kwisikhathi sokhombisa abangakholwa ukuthi umdala ukhona bayakhala abazali bathi babuza ubuhlungu umhlaba esibeletha bangashawa ngefiphindiwe basenkulu bana ozongibeletha emhlanje ngoba lo mkhuhlane usuyathelelana ake ngicabange kabusha ngesikole othisha basimakela baqedwe kusekuthina kade kusibhalile akusikhona ukuthi isikole ngisithandi kodwa mase siqhathanisa nempilo sisangakufa lenkondlo ngibhale ngokuhlanganisa nomkhuleko ngoba vele sifaswe ngamakhetha ngokufa uluyana qahabe
kuvela izono ebese zilikelwe amanyala befihlakele othandweni asikhwetshela amatyala sigabenzanga sipholisa inhliziyo zezophulanga sinciba ezo nhliziyo zonke apha ethandweni igcwele awunje amamenemene sidala khawumamela apha ndixelele ukwenzela nalowo umthandayo xa ijikele uzukhumbule le nhliziyo wayishiya ngenxeba icambalele nomqhelo wawushiya ejazelile andikubambelanga Akala kodwa nzazama ukupholisa esizingqala banyanisile abathi indoda engabheji iyashiwa bayesekapa baganjwana bahambayo kuleqabana imali nabanxiba impahla zexabiso Namhlanje ndiqone mandikhe ndithethe inyaniso ndikhe ndingene kodwa lapha engingqini uthando akho uthando omnye siyabhanqana okwembalekile awusiyakhuphisana okwentsaba siyabalelana kanene awusiyaphikana andikubambelanga ngqala nto nje bandishiyane singqala sokubini.
Months of terrors. When touch became the new terror, we headed towards new griefs. For how could we heal if sharing breath was poison? Where would we go when the hospitals began to fill and the ground widened? We were told the doctors would cull the elderly to keep the young blinking. We watched our elders, their age a comorbidity, their blackness still the condition. The old terrors briefly forgotten, at the bottom of the page, where they laughed and laughed. They patrolled the streets in uniform. Heroes, joyous not to be a spectacle, at least for the first few hours. That old terror rolled through the neighborhood, stamping stamp on heads. Our griefs climbed into our phones to find refuge, to return fire that flapped like hardidars in a red wind. Another stamp. We strained behind our eyes. A man, a boy, he was a boy, he was a boy. Some terrors are old as blood. Some terrors are so old they have become the blood. They are this country's first rituals to discovering itself. As the new terror pressed on every house, this oldest terror kept gorging. A woman, a girl. She was a girl. She was a girl. This terror has grown a flag in our faces. I am here to stay, it says. I am the well from which griefs old and new gather.
Lukhulu engilifundile ekuzanyazanyisweni kwami ngingemhlaba, ekuzanyazanyisweni kwami ngingesiziba. Ngempela isidumbu siyawaheha amanqe. Ngizimisele ukweneka izinyembezi zami emthini, mhlasimbe zingaze zome. Ukuzigaxa emthini kuze kophe amanxeba asemandulo. Mhlasimbe ngingavundulula zonke izimpendulo nombangela walenxakanxaka engibhekane nayo. Ngakho ke ngizimisele ukuzigqaja ngobuhlungu bami, ukuzigqaja ngobuwula bami. Ngiyogeqa amaqa njengabafazi begaya amabele lize liyozilahla kunina, ngisho noma inhliziyo ingabalisa lize liyoshona. Amanxeba esebhibha ubovu. Mina ngiyindlovukazi engasindwa umboko wayo. Ngelinye ilanga imboma iyozamazamisa isiziba. Kuyokhala isimaye maye, amahele ayohlangana phezulu. Ayophenduka izinkonya enkundleni. Ngoba izimpisi zisheshe zahleka.